Hey, I'm the very friendly dragon now. And guess what? I'm calling water. I hate you.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan. And this is Tops.
Sup?
This is Bottoms. Sup? And this is Treble. Sup? Oh my god. You still playing this deck? Yeah, kind of. Let's go. And we're crushcards. Hi, team. Happy Tuesday, my totally awesome toads. My god, it has been a hot minute since I updated this deck, and for good reason. So for those of you who are wondering why I haven't updated Paleo in a while, like, I don't know, since December, it's because the last format was super duper boring, super duper stale, and obviously Paleo wasn't like the best deck.
Let's go!
So I didn't feel like it needed to be updated because it just, like, why would I put out a deck list that wasn't, like, optimal enough that I thought it would have a chance? And I feel like in this format, it actually does, and it has a really good fighting chance against a lot of decks. Obviously, Eldritch is the better control deck. That's, like, not a question at this point. But I think Paleo still can hold its own, and, you know, Dragoon still exists, so that's really nice now. I know beforehand I was really against Extrav and Dragoon and a lot of really good cards that could help this deck, but don't worry, I've seen the light now, and this deck has all of those things. So I am eating my own words. Yay! I honestly feel really good about this build. I know it's not perfect. Obviously, the format literally just started yesterday, technically, so there's a lot of room to change in this deck, and I do have a lot of flex spots. I just kind of picked cards that are safe for right now based on what I'm projecting could be the meta, but obviously this is the 3-month-long format, so you know what? If things change, that's okay. This is just like a base level of what I'm going with. But I feel really good about this format. I think this is going to be a really fun format for a lot of rogue decks, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to update this, and this is a very different, very non-budget build. So A, if you want a budget build, leave a comment. I can do that for you, but I am saying this is the most optimal build right now. But before we get into it, if you are not already a subscriber, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you hit the notification bell, because then you'll know when all of our cool new videos come out. We also have an Instagram. It's at crushcards.YUGIOH if you want to interact with us a little bit more and see some behind the scenes stuff. We also have a super wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely bopping. We're almost at 2,000 members. That's pretty cool. Feel free to go in there if you want to do some remote duel tournaments and hang out with me and all the cool kids. And then last but not least, if you want to further support the channel and all of our shenanigans, we have a Patreon. We have remote duel sessions with us. We have merch, bloopers, side decks. The side deck for this deck will be going up on Patreon if you want the secret spice. So I'd really appreciate it if you checked it out, but if not, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here to get our ribbon on, team. I'm also going to be announcing the sleeve giveaway winner from last week, so make sure you're listening because you could be the winner, and make sure you stick around because we do giveaways all the time. But with that being said, let's hop right to it, team. I feel really good. It's about time. Let's get froggy with it. Starting off, we're playing the super standard frog package. We're playing 3 swap, 2 dupe, and 2 Ronin. Okay, so it's not like the super standard, obviously. We're playing 2 dupe instead of 3 dupe.
Super standard, get it? Like, these are supers.
Because these are ultimate rares. No, but I cut 1 dupe down because now that we are playing the Dragoon package along with Insight and the Wyvern, I don't want this to get super bricky, and I don't want to be opening conflicting things because obviously I'm relying on RedEyes Fusion a lot more than making Toad at this point. So if I open up too many frogs, it gets a little conflicting if I have also a RedEyes Fusion in my hand. So this is more for in the grind game, and if I end up like top decking things like that, it's okay. Also, for those of you wondering if my hands have gotten significantly hairier, Brian is being my hands today. He's my hand model because I'm in a new cast now. So a new cast game, but I still can't really do much. So Brian's being my hands today. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna kind of go through this a little bit fast. So make sure you check out other profiles if you want deeper explanations. But Swap Frog is literally just your foolish. You can special him and you can normal him, do the hip hop bounce thing. The dumping is not a hard once per turn, which is why he is so darn good because he literally just gives you Toad for free. Dupe Frog is your attack protection. When he's battled into and he dies, he searches a frog. That's pretty cool. And fun fact, when Dupe Frog does die in battle and he gets a search, they cannot ash it because it is in the damage step. And if you're wondering, we did a Yugi Pros video on that exact thing. If you want to go and educate yourself, and feel free to let us know if you want us to update Yugi Pros, which we're gonna, but feel free to let us know anyway. And then Ronin Toad is obviously just your graveyard interaction. You can banish a frog from your graveyard to special summon him, and it's not a hard once per turn, so you just spam. And then we're playing the fun brick package. We have 1 RedEyes Wyvern, 1 RedEyes Black Dragon, and 1 Dark Magician for my really fun hodgepodge deck. For those of you who don't know why you play the Wyvern, during your end phase, if you do not normal summon or set a monster that turn, you can banish this card and then special summon a RedEyes monster from your grave. That's Dragoon. So if they out your Dragoon, you have a way to get it back the next turn, which is pretty cool. And friendly reminder, this is normal summoning our set, so it doesn't say special summon. So just keep that in mind. I'm just saying. And then also, obviously, 2 bricks. And then moving on to the full RedEyes package, we're playing the 3 RedEyes Insight and the 3 RedEyes Fusion. Honestly, 3 RedEyes Insight has been kind of on the fence with me. I've debated, like, do I really need to play 3? Yes, you do, because you obviously want to see RedEyes Fusion as fast as humanly possible. And to help with that, we're playing 3 Extravagance. I know, guys, this deck is literally everything I swore that I would never play beforehand. Like, literally, I was like, I don't want to play Dragoon. I don't want to play Extrav. They're all bad. I lied. I'm a terrible liar. I'm so sorry. I didn't see the light, but now I do. The pond is large and full of secrets. But Extrav is actually really good because, well, Toad's at 3. You can play 3 Dragoon. You can play multiple Verte and a whole bunch of other multiples. And so, like, you really don't need to have your entire extra deck at all. You can kind of just sit on Dragoon, maybe make a Toad. I don't know. So this is really good. I don't like the prosperity in this build. I know a lot of people are testing it, and that's totally fine. If it works for you, that's cool. I just don't really like revealing my deck to people. Also, prosperity says that all damage for the turn is halved to your opponent, which I really don't like. This has literally no restriction other than you can't draw things and you have to activate this at the start of your main phase 1. Wow, this card is just better in terms of using Dragoon, turboing, and trying to win. And if I'm gonna banish my extra deck, I'd rather just draw 2 off of Extrav.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like the remainder of this deck is all traps. So if you're just gonna draw 2 cards, you'd rather draw 2 powerhouse cards as opposed to searching for like 1 card that could still potentially get negated.
Yes, and if I'm just gonna banish my extra deck, I'd rather just draw 2, to be honest. That's personal preference, I don't know, and this card's also a lot cheaper now, so I just recommend it.
And when it comes to like the drawing 2 and having the additional RedEyes insights for mid to late games, Dragoon does discard for the negate, so you just have additional cards. So even if you draw like a card that you don't think you can use off of Extravagance, you can still use it for discard fodder off Dragoon.
So yeah, this is the RedEyes package. It's really good. Oh, also, friendly reminder, this is great ash bait. Your goal is to open this and one of these 2 cards because you don't want to obviously lose Dragoon. You want to be able to summon him. So having Pot of Extravagance, you activate Pot, they're probably gonna ash it, which I love it when they do because then I'm like, haha, Psych, Insight, or Fusion, and they're like, damn, Daniel, and it feels so good. So this is a really nice just way to get Dragoon out without having to worry about losing anything. All right, time for the Paleos. We're playing 3 Dynamiscus, we're playing 3 Canadia, and we're playing 3 Paleozoic Olenoides, who is still a common, but I feel like in OTS 16 he's gonna be a super. Feel free to like the video if you think so too, because I really want him to be a super, Konami.
Please.
Especially since the link is coming out in Lightning Overdrive, I think now is the time to have a super Olenoides. I don't know, maybe I'm just a crazy frog lady. But yeah, this is pretty standard. This is what I've pretty much always been playing. Olenoides can be at 2 or 3 sometimes depending on the meta, but now that Eldritch is literally the best control deck and a lot of decks are playing traps, I don't know, Chuchi Virtual World, I hate you. This card's really good. I mean, it's not like the best, but like it's something, and then if not, well, Dynamiscus can just banish it. So it really helps. Canadia is always just a really good card. Flip that stupid Shen Shen or any other card that annoys you. These are also just really good to bait negates with. I mean, obviously everyone's gonna be playing some sort of Dragoon Turbo, so these are always just nice to help like bait negates and, you know, use your better trap cards. But yeah, this is pretty standard. There's nothing really special about this. Obviously, if a trap card is activated while this is in your graveyard, any of these, you can special summon them as a normal monster, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of powerful traps that can out a lot of things, this is Ice Dragon's Prison. This card's really good. I don't really feel like I need to explain this card. This is your out to literally anything that's annoying, any dinosaur, Dragoon, like you name it, you can out it. As long as there's the same type on the field, you can just get rid of whatever you want. That's it. It's normal. You can trap trick it. That's pretty cool. And then coming back into the deck at 3, we have triple infinite and permanent. This wasn't in the deck last time, I don't believe. I honestly don't remember. It's been like 4 months. It probably wasn't. But I do think Imperm is actually going to start seeing a lot more play because, I mean, it's really good this format. The only reason this card is really probably going to see play is because of Verte Anaconda. You can't ash the Verte. You can only Imperm it because it sends for cost. So you can Imperm it and then it just sits there and dies and they don't get a Dragoon. So this is basically your easier way to stop Dragoon from coming on the field. Also, a lot of Dragon Link decks are going to be making Appaloosa so that you can't like ash the LP, but guess what? You can Imperm the LP, which then stops LP.
That
so
really hurts.
And being that Dragon Link is probably one of the best decks of the format, Imperm is actually pretty clutch. It's also trap trickable. Not that you're really trying to do that, but you can. Also, you can activate it from your hand, so it's really nice, like, you know, if you're stuck going second, because you'll lose the die roll like you always do, you know, like me. This is also really good because, as we know, this card plays with columns. So like, say, you know, you're like mid-game and you know where your opponent is going to set cards or activate cards, you can literally just stop a Chuchi, stop an Eldritch card by putting this card in the same column and shutting it off. So as long as there's a card on the field to target to Imperm, you can lock a column entirely. It's pretty cool. So I think this is just a good card this format, to be honest. Welcome back, Imperm. Love you. Alrighty, and then moving on, we're going on to double Trap Trick. We're not playing 3 just because I don't think 3 is super necessary. You don't have to play Trap Trick. This is just really nice, like if you need access to like 90% of your traps because they're all normal traps, but Trap Trick's still pretty good. Banish a normal trap from your deck, set one with the same name from your deck. It can be activated that turn, but then you can only activate 1 trap card for the rest of the turn, so you kind of got to be smart about it. But yeah, Trap Trick is still good. It's not like my favorite. Honestly, I was on the fence between this and like Torrential Tribute because Torrential is obviously a very powerful card this format. I might honestly test both and see what happens. I was playing Torrential in my build earlier, which was basically this build just a little different. And I really liked Torrential. The only problem was like, if you also have a Toad on the field, then you could lose your Toad, and like it's a little more situational. Like if you're just sitting on Dragoon, sure, but like sometimes Torrential just didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but hey, who's to say it doesn't come back into the deck? If you want to play it, go for it. And then on to our final powerhouse traps, just to slap everyone in the face. We've got 3 Solemn Strike and we've got 1 Imperial Order. Solemn Strike is still absolutely nutty. It was nutty last format, it's nutty this format. It's a counter trap. This is part of the really big 2-card combo against Dragoon, because obviously Dragoon has a negate. You're gonna try and bait some sort of negate by Ice Dragon's Prison. You're gonna try and bait the Dragoon negate, and then when Dragoon activates to negate, you Solemn Strike it, so that then you just ruin their day. It feels really good. This is also just good against literally any monster effect ever, because it's a counter trap, so it's just good. I don't really know what to say about it other than it's fantastic. And then Imperial Order is also amazing because it stops Harpy's Feather Duster, it stops Lightning Storm, it stops literally any annoying spell card that could ruin this deck's day.
Like Quick Launch, Dragon's Ravine, Boot Sector Launch.
I mean, this card is just fantastic. Like, obviously it's a 1-of, so like your odds of opening it are not the highest, but man, sometimes it really does come in clutch, and that's all it takes for people to just scoop.
But the math behind this deck is really cool. Not that we know the math, but like if you actually like
the math is cool even though we don't know
if you break it down, like Extrav, you're drawing 2, RedEyes Insight, you're taking a card out of your deck, and then to take another like 2 to 3 cards out of your deck, and then like there's just so much like deck thinning in this deck.
Yes.
Trap Trick and Banish, like it's just, there's so many ways to get your deck thinner to have a higher probability of seeing these cards.
Absolutely, and that's what I really like about this build, is not only like are you deck thinning significantly more, even with the frogs too, like it's all there. There's a lot of synergy, and like you don't have to open bricks really at all, because God knows you're gonna open RedEyes and Dark Magician all the time anyway, but like having access to drawing cards and thinning through Insight and stuff like that, it's just, it makes the deck a lot better, honestly. Like, and then grind games are a lot easier because you're not gonna worry about what you're drawing next. You're gonna be like, oh cool, I know generally what proportions are left in my deck. But anyway, let's move on to the extra deck, because gosh darn, this main deck's really fun. All right, so we are in an Extrav package for this extra deck, so we are playing a lot of multiples, and obviously the first one up is Triple Totally Awesome, because he is our best boy, he is our Omni Negate. However, he is not our like win condition or our first route of play anymore. Now our first goal is to make Dragoon as fast as possible, because obviously it's a significantly more powerful card to sit on. However, in the grind game, it is really nice if you happen to have 2 frogs in hand, or 1, or you can just get to Toad through your traps. This becomes really great because then it just puts a higher threat on board, because it's also an Omni Negate. So if you can successfully make Toad and Dragoon and just kind of sit on them, your opponent's gonna scoop. I played in an Extravaganza and it was really nice, just absolutely bodying Drytron with Dragoon and Toad. And I think the really underrated effect is the fact that Toad can, when he negates something, he can set the card to our field. And in a matchup like Eldritch, like stealing their resources, that's pretty great, because then they can't use it. So like, say they go to activate a Sanguine, you take their Sanguine. It really sucks for them.
It's really good.
It really feels bad.
It's like a 2-for-1. Like you negate the summon of the Eldritch and you take the card so they don't banish it to get a pop. Like it's really great.
Yeah, like it's a really underrated effect, and I think people should probably start utilizing it a lot more, especially this format. I think it's so cool. But yeah, Toad's fantastic. Obviously it's really good in a grind game, but it is not our main win con at this point. Moving on. Oh boy, what can we playing 3 of next? Oh wow, it's Dragoon. Woo! Pay 2, get Schmagoon. Except in this deck, we just get him because we want to. Yeah, Insight. But yeah, it's Dragoon. He's big, he's a negate, he gets bigger, he's huge, he's really good. He's also, honestly, the discard in this deck is actually really nice for the negate, because I mean, you can put Paleos in grave. I cannot tell you how many times I've just had to throw a Ronin in grave, and I'm like, sick, this is awesome. So honestly, it actually kind of helps this deck. So Dragoon, obviously, very good card. You want to make it as fast as possible. We're playing 3 because Victor F. And then we're playing our 1 sweet special Link Spider. This is for your traps, just so you can make them into an effect monster for Verte in case you need to make Verte.
Ooh.
Wow, he's an ultimate rare. Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow. And then we're just playing a bunch of 2-ofs. Obviously 2 Verte Anaconda, 2 Nightmare Phoenix, and 2 Nightmare Unicorn. This is just a really nice 2-of package, just again for Extrav. I don't want to like play 1-ofs because I don't want to lose them. These 2 are very important for the next card that we're playing in the extra deck, and obviously this is just in case you like don't see any of your 9,000 cards to get to Dragoon. This is just nice if you have frogs and you can just make this instead, because they're gonna think you're going for Toad, and then psych, you go for Anaconda, and it feels hilarious. But anyway, why are we playing these 2 cards? Why do they matter, Logan, other than their great utility? Well, I'll tell you. Here's where the not budget part of the deck comes in. We're playing 2 Access Code Talker. I mean, I guess the 3 Dragoon also weren't very budget at this point. Well, all right, but we're playing double Access Code Talker, because you just make Nightmare Phoenix, and then you just link climb into Unicorn, and then you just keep link climbing into Access Code, and then obviously you target the Unicorn for Access Code to make him big, and then you can banish the Phoenix and the Unicorn because they're 2 different attributes, so that's just really nice. So it's a pop 2, and it's a gain 3,000, so that's really nice. Access Code Talker is just fantastic. It's a really great kill button in this deck. It's unfortunately better than Boral Sword. I'm really sorry, guys. I know I'm not saying Boral Sword in this video, and it's gonna upset a lot of you, but I just think this card is better.
At least in this build.
But if you want to play Boral Sword, by all means, go ahead. It's just a lot harder to make, but access code is just really free. It's also nice because, you know, your opponent can't, like, literally respond to anything, so it's just really free. Like, if you can get to access code, you win. But that's it. That's the extra deck. Golly gee, let's do a test hand, and I guess I'll show you guys how to set 2, make Dragoon, and have 2 cards in your hand. Hi, welcome to the giveaway section. Today we're giving away these super cute Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight sleeves. If you were here last week, we did a huge opening, and we went and actually got a couple packs of these, and we figured we had some extra. Let's give them away. We know these are pretty hard to come by, and we love doing giveaways because you guys deserve it. So here's who the winner is for this giveaway. So the winner for this giveaway is Ink the Brigand. Brigand? I think I said that right. You win! Yay! I really liked your comment. I really like the fact that you got the Game Grumps reference. It's really nice. I'm glad someone understands my jokes. But you all left some really adorable comments, and I loved reading all of them. So make sure you stay tuned for more giveaways. We do giveaways literally not only with every set we do, but just because we want to sometimes. And you know what? It's a lot of fun. We have fun here, team. So thank you so much to everyone who participated. Ink the Brigand, make sure you message us on Discord or Instagram or something preferably so that we can get these out to you as soon as possible. Thanks, babe. Anyway, here's the test hand. Okie dokie. So like Brian always say, we're gonna give it a little shuffle because, you know, this deck was just profiled out. We gotta make sure we don't open absolute nonsense, but we will anyway. All right, who wants to place bets to see if we open Red Eyes or Dark Magician? I'm gonna say one or both.
Okay, we'll give a couple more of these, and then 1 or 2 more of these.
Okie dokie, I'm gonna give the final cut just because I feel like it. I don't know, I'm so used to doing this at this point. I'm not usually on this side. All right, but we're going first in case you somehow didn't know that. All right, here we go. Amazing. Already feels great. Oh my God. Wow, all right, this is turning out, wow. Wow. We win. We won the game, guys, and we didn't open a brick. Sure, we got double insight, but that happens, and you know what, that's okay.
I guess I'll just start shuffling this for you there
just
now.
Shuffle that up. All right, so cool. We're gonna do the whole bait and get Nash and, you know, just play insight. So we're gonna activate our extravagance at the start of our main phase. Brian's gonna banish 6. I don't really care.
We'll just do the top 6.
Yeah,
Y'all watch this shuffle.
Yeah,
that was great. 3,
there.
4, 5, 6. All right.
Wow. What
now
lose?
we lost
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. Amazing.
Wow, we lost 2 Toad and 2 Dragoon.
That does not matter.
Okey
I don't
day.
know why you think that matters because it doesn't. Why are we making things more than once anyway?
I don't have an Ash. I'm sorry.
All right, cool, sick. It doesn't matter. So even if they do Ash it, we still get Dragoon. It does not matter. We are still going to set 2 and we'll still have an insight in hand. So like, it's still perfect no matter what. This literally could not be better. I'm so, wow. The Toad Frog gods are here. The pond is full. We are living. All right, cool. Let's draw 2. Boop. And we didn't open a brick. Sick. Yo, I would have died if it was also Red Eyes. Okay, this is fine. It literally doesn't matter because we're just gonna activate our insight. So we're just gonna do that. And then, oh, Brian, you gotta go through the deck. I can't, sorry. All right, we're gonna send our Red Eyes Wyvern to the graveyard. Sick. And then we're gonna get our fusion. Amazing. I think it's really weird, by the way, that Red Eyes Wyvern is a wind. I don't know why they did that. It's just so funny because it's a Red Eyes monster, but whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. All right, now we're gonna do the unthinkable, team. We're gonna activate Red Eyes Fusion. Sending a brick from our hand and the brick from our deck. Wowee, look at that. And then we're gonna summon everyone's best boy in zone 1 or 5 because, I don't know, some lunatic is probably playing Geonator Transverse or somewhere.
Here you go, I'll let you do this.
And then here comes the really intense part of the game, folks. We're gonna set, hold. Sick.
Wow.
Honestly, it's amazing.
What an insane deck.
What an unbreakable board we have set up, team. But no, honestly, this is probably the most ideal hand. Seeing Strike is fantastic, especially if you can make Dragoon. Like, on top of that, like, it's just so hard to play through. And then the Imperial Order is just nutty.
You always open
Always.
Order. It drives me nuts.
I have the most phenomenal luck. Imperial Order and I have a very special connection that, like, I just don't think anyone else understands. But yeah, I mean, sure, your opponent can go to, like, I guess their turn, but, like, do I really need to show you guys what's gonna happen? Like, we have Dragoon. We're gonna, like, as soon as they activate any spell, you're gonna flip Imperial Order. The second they activate literally any spell. Wait until they activate a spell, though. Do not shotgun this because they could have something. You don't know what they have. Wait until they need to activate something to see what they're playing, and then just make them feel bad. So then you'll activate the Imperial Order. They'll probably try to do anything else. You have a Strike, you have a Trap Trick. If they summon something, you want to grab a Prison, you want to grab a Paleo, you literally can. I recommend grabbing Prison because it's just fantastic. Also, I recommend using the Strike first because they're going to try and bait Dragoon as much as possible. possible, but if they use any monster effects, obviously, or whatever, use Solemn Strike because you want to hold on to this. Just, you know, make sure you're playing smart. I know this is like a not very complex deck, but like you still have to know what you're doing because they can out Dragoon pretty easily nowadays. So you just need to make sure that you're holding Dragoon as much as possible. And then in the end phase, you know, trap trick. So let's say we'll set an Ice Dragon's Prison. That's fine. Realistically, we probably will have used the strike, so I'm just gonna put the strike engraved because realistically we would have used it. All right, so end phase, we have Imperial Order live. We have a set Ice Dragon's Prison. We have a Dragoon that probably used the negate realistically. So like Insight would be engraved if you did use it, but like you don't always necessarily use it. So anyway, we'll draw for our turn, blah, blah, blah. Wow, cool, another trap trick. We literally just plussed another trap. That's pretty rad. So like, I mean, sure, pay 700 in your standby phase. I would honestly hold this.
Yeah,
like you don't need it. Like you don't have to set this. You have a freaking prison set. You have a Dragoon negate live. You've got this. Like I don't really see what they could do. So like honestly, I would just hold trap trick. And at this point, he's at 4K. You can burn them for whatever they have on field, and that's about it. Also, friendly reminder: if in the end phase they still have a monster on board, you don't have to get rid of those monsters because that's just free burn damage for Dragoon. So when you go into their turn, you can just do that and then kill them faster. But yeah, that was a super fun interactive Paleo frog deck. As you can see, with 0 Paleos and 0 frogs, we still did pretty darn good. Obviously, it depends. You're not always going to open Imperial Order like I do. But the frog engine is now just kind of supplemental and there to help in case you don't get to Dragoon somehow or if you're just in a grind game. This deck's really cool now. I'm really happy with it. Let me know what your build is. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this will get tweaked throughout the format. If you ever want me to update it, feel free to just let me know. I love it when you guys tell me. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you had an amazing time. Make sure you check and see if you won the giveaway. Giveaway winner, please contact us. I hope you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. We have a ton of deck profiles coming out for the new format. We're really excited about it. And once my arm is healed, we'll do some actual live duels. But right now, I'm kind of literally in a bind. It was a joke. But we love you. You matter. Thank you all so much for being my froggy friends through all of this. Bye. Bye, friends. Bye. Bye. Ah, have a great day. Dragoon, go burr. Burr. Burr.